is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. And so much is happening. I got to tell you, this has been one of the busiest news weekends I've ever seen. I'm just doing my show prep here in the morning for the morning show. And, you know, one of the things they don't get, this is what I'm going to lead with today is, on the main show, is the situation with Iran. Everything with Iran is going perfectly according to plan. I read a story this morning that the Revolutionary Guard has taken over from the civilian lunatics that you know, the foreign minister, the president, they're out. The Revolutionary Guard has taken over, a major general. So here we are 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, however long ago it's been now. Since then, President Trump took out the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini. His son's obviously gone too. Not just the senior government officials from the first strike on day one, their entire staffs. And since then, there have been many attacks directed towards leadership. So the people that are running things now, 6, 8 weeks ago, were like nobodies, and now they're running the country. So the story today, the media are trying to paint this as some kind of failure or loss, is that the Iranians may not show up to the negotiations tomorrow in Islamabad. Well, of course they're not going to show up. They very well could be dead. You know, the foreign minister, the president, they're dead, or they're in prison, being in some prison in Iran, being tortured by the Revolutionary Guard, or they're just being held prisoner somewhere. Their best case scenario is they're being held prisoner in their house under house arrest, but that's the least likely of those scenarios. So Iran, that's been hyped up as being this invincible country that no one can touch because they're so all powerful, they got whooped. There's been regime change about 3, 4 times over. The country's on a verge of really anarchy. It's being run basically, this major general from the Revolutionary Guard, he's basically a warlord. So the Iranian the Iranian government is just a couple of steps ahead of anarchy. They're almost back to being totally tribal so far as their system of governance. If you think about it, right, they're getting pretty tribal there. And President Trump did all of this without any boots on the ground. So it's amazing. He has them. He has the revolutionary. Think about this: the Revolutionary Guard are doing the work for us instead of us going in there. They're doing it, and they're too stupid and psychotic to know that they're helping us. This is perfect. This is much better than an invading army, and we've got Iran out of the way. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. You know, and I think most people see this, they just don't want to admit it, right? You guys agree? Most people see this, they just don't want to admit it. That's how I kind of view it. Because what's happening is so incredibly obvious. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better than this. This is the most brilliant media campaign that this country has ever been involved in. It really, truly is. You know, we're doing so much without invading. This is better than invading, isn't it? Of course it is. Of course it is. And make sure you don't miss the morning show today, where I'll be taking live calls. I just pinned the link in the chat there. That'll take you to the mainstream, which will be live in less than 2 hours. And I'll be taking your calls on this, and we'll be celebrating the incredible victory of President Trump and what he's doing here. Because this is, it's really masterful. It really, truly is. Let me see if I can find this story on the Revolutionary Guard helping us. They're so stupid, they don't even realize they're helping us. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on. I'm not sure that I guess I didn't share it on X. Yeah, here it is. Listen, here it is. I'm going to go over this story when the main show starts today. This is in the New York Post. Islamic Guard takes full control of Iran sidelines moderates. Iranian Republican, or I'm sorry, I keep saying Republican Guard because that's Iraq. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Commander Major General Ahmed Vahadi and members of his inner circle have taken charge of the Islamic Republic, as evident by Iran's attacks on ships trying to sail through the Strait of Hormuz and Tehran's refusal to join peace talks this week with the U.S. The sudden shift to a hardline stance also shows that more moderate members of Iran's leadership, including the foreign affairs minister, have been sidelined or killed or imprisoned or being tortured. I mean, come on. The foreign minister initially agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend after reaching a consensus with the Trump administration, but the Revolutionary Guard demanded it remain shut in face of the American blockade on Iranian ports. The Revolutionary Guard general has received the backing of Iran's Supreme National Security Council secretary, they said, who's a veteran of the Revolutionary Guard. So they're in charge now. The Revolutionary Guard is in charge now. This is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what Trump wanted. When will Trump's MAGA materialize? It's happening, man. America has been made great again. We're controlling the world. There's a major reset of everything in the world going on right now. Yep, that's right. Establishing American dominance. I mean, we went to the moon last week. We won a war last week. And now we have these idiots in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard doing the work that we want them to do. Taking out government officials. They've had about 3 regime changes, maybe 4 or 5, since the military campaign began, right? I'm sure most of you agree with this. I mean, come on. How could you not? Oh. Yeah, here's Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation with Eric Holder.
Historically, the president's party doesn't usually do well in the midterm races. So why do Democrats need to do this? I mean, it sounds like it's acknowledging.
See, she's talking about all this redistricting that the Democrats are panicked over. Why are you doing this if the odds are in your favor to win? Good question.
Historically, the president's party doesn't usually do well in the midterm races. So why do Democrats need to do this? I mean, it sounds like it's acknowledging that the Democratic Party can't win on its own.
That's
that
right.
It has to go through these measures.
The Democrats can certainly win if it's a fair fight.
Oh.
And the question I have...
It wasn't going to be a fair fight in Virginia?
No, it wasn't going to be a fair fight nationally if you try to steal seats in Texas, in North Carolina, and in Missouri. And so the question I have for people...
So Eric Holder's admitting that gerrymandering is going on here in Virginia.
Critical of that which we're doing is, what were we supposed to do? Nothing? Just allow them...
How about let the people choose who their representatives are? How about that, Eric Holder? I know that's a radical thought.
Try to stack the deck, to try to steal seats. And all we're trying to do is meet them and try to make the system as fair as it possibly can be. And that's all that this is about.
He does. They're so psychotic. They don't even hear themselves. They don't even hear themselves. That's great. And that's the first time Margaret Brennan over there has asked a decent question. It really is. Yeah, I've been watching this morning. I've been reading through all the latest exchanges with Loomer and Candace Owens. Candace Owens blocked Loomer on X, so she is. She's panicking. She's panicking. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Candace Owens is being exposed by Loomer, which is very important to do. I was talking about this on my podcast yesterday afternoon. Candace Owens has made anti-Semitism. Her with Tucker Carlson, they've made anti-Semitism like popular, sadly, in the world again, and which we had virtually pretty much wiped out and they're doing a lot of damage. You know what? I'd like to know about Candace's following. You guys, let me know your thoughts on this. You know, her number of views and following, is it organic or bought bots? What would you guys think with Candace Owens? Is her reach really as large as it seems, or is it bots? What do you guys think? It's it, but whatever it is, Laura Loomer's decided to take her down, and I would bet on Laura Loomer every time in a cage match. There's no way that Candace will beat Laura Loomer in this. You know, Laura Loomer has the receipts big time. I mean, literally, not figuratively. She literally has the receipts. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. You know, one thing you got to understand about Laura Loomer, she is always right. She is always right. She has incredible sourcing. She does research. She has sources. I mean, real sources. A lot of people claim to have sources. They're all full of it. She really has sources and documents. She's always right. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand Loomer. They think, they kind of, the Loomer haters are the Trump haters, right? And they analyze her and what she's doing so wrong. They think that she's, impulsive. And no, everything Loomer does is very well thought out, very well researched and calculated. Just like Trump. I mean, she's always 5 steps ahead, if not more, just like Trump. And what she's doing with Candace, what we're seeing now is the beginning of her plan, because not only is Loomer always right, and she has all the documents and everything to back up what she says, she understands, like Trump, she understands the media, the beats of the media. You don't start with your biggest thing. You drop things over a period of time, however long that is. And she's building up. And Candace Owens blocking her was really a sign of weakness. It was not a good idea for her to block her. That was not smart. She should not have done that. Big mistake, in my opinion. But for whatever that matters. Now I put the link in the pinned in the live chat, the link to the morning show, which will be in less than 2 hours. I'll be in the studio taking your calls. 30 permanent representatives of NATO have arrived in Japan to do what? Are they on vacation? Who cares? There's only one member of NATO that matters. That's the United States. Right? Is the United States there with them? What's NATO without the United States? Nothing. Nothing. What they've become is the UN, irrelevant. They're not our allies. We have new allies. The United States, Europe, NATO, they're no longer our allies. The new allies of the United States are Venezuela, Qatar, the UAE, right? Those are our new allies. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. Oh boy, today's my birthday. Every year on my birthday, when I wake up, my daughter's she sent me a text like right after every year, right after midnight at 12:01. She sends me happy birthday messages, text me. So she always says she always wants to be the first to wish me happy birthday. So it's hard to believe it's my birthday. The years going by so fast. Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, today's a big one. The numbers get bigger every year, but today's a big birthday. Oh, boy. Hey, Luna. It's my cat Luna's here eating. Want to see Luna? There's Luna. Oh, she's a little camera shy today. Yep, 55. I'm 55 years old today. That's right. It's a big one. I can't believe. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, a lot of you are younger, a lot of you are older. That's okay. You know, we're all aging. I really don't get depressed at the age. Yeah, you know, getting older doesn't really bother me too much. It doesn't. You know, with age comes wisdom. That's something I've learned. But Candace Owens blocking Loomer, what I think, you know, you guys can let me know if you agree with this, yes or no. Candace Owens blocking Loomer on X, is that a sign of panic on Candace Owens' part? I think it is. I think Candace Owens is panicked. Panicked. You know, I know there, and Loomer posted some things about Candace Owens' husband that I'm not even going to share. I did retweet them, but I'm not going to read them. I mean, they're pretty hardcore. Trump has everything under control in Iran. This is what's going on in Iran is perfection on Trump's part. I'm going to I already broke it down a little bit at the beginning of the stream here, but I'm going to go over it all in detail on the main show today, taking your calls. I am looking and acknowledging you, Bubblegum Studio. But Candace Owens blocking. See, you know, they'll put some things online to try to trash and smear or embarrass Loomer. But, you know, maybe you know, you all have gone through life without doing something you might find a little bit embarrassing. We all do. But whatever they come up with Loomer, it's going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing because Candace is she's fake. She's corrupt. She's an anti-Semite. She's a Holocaust denier, and a grifter, right? So I'm sure what they're doing right now is trying to find something on Loomer. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. The things that Loomer jealous of Candace? I don't think so. Loomer could get the president on the phone right now if she wanted. At 4:14 in the morning, he'd take her call. Candace's problem is she's cut out of the loop. Thank you. Thank you for the happy birthdays. I appreciate it. My wife gave me some birthday presents last night right before bed. Well, she got me some cool stuff. But if there was anything on Loomer, you would have heard about it long ago. Believe me. Believe me. You know, and what Candace is, you know, the things that Loomer's come up with over the weekend. I'll give you an example, okay? And a lot of people may not quite understand this. Candace Owens is worth millions of dollars. She just bought a second multi-million-dollar home in the same city as her first multi-million-dollar home. And this other real estate deal, which was millions of dollars in property and everything else. And a lot of people, why is this important? It's because a couple of things. One, there's two reasons mainly that this is important. One, Candace is crying poor mouth to her audience so she can get super chats and sell merch and such. And crying poor mouth because of her lawsuit and everything, and she's broke and all this stuff when she's worth many millions of dollars. So she's lying to her audience, and let me tell you, you know, you guys that watch me over the years, I have no respect for people who lie to their audience. You know, you guys in the audience, you're why all of us are here, and I have so much respect and gratitude towards the audience. And when she's crying poor mouth, when she's got all these three multi-million-dollar transactions, owns two multi-million-dollar homes, and she's begging people to buy merch so she could pay her legal bills. That's not, but and then from a legal standpoint, what Loomer is suggesting is that and she's got the documents to back it up, is that Candace is trying to shield her money from the Macron lawsuit. And you can't do that. When there's a legal proceeding going on and you try to shelter your money or hide your money and in the ways that she's doing it, that's not legal. So she's exposing her. And I'm just curious as to where she's getting all this info to help the Macrons, Loomer, because it's very good information. I mean, she's definitely got great sources. Mm. But trying to shield your money like she's doing, that's not allowed. Not allowed. But Loomer's worth $500,000. I don't know what her net worth is. I mean, she just got married, so I don't know what her husband's net worth is. But Loomer, the thing about Laura Loomer is she's not connected to any of these news outlets or anything else. She whatever she has, she's built. She's definitely built, and she's certainly built up a network of sources. Oh my goodness, she's probably the most sourced reporter in America. Right? Well, these other reporters, you always say, sources tell me this, sources tell me that. They just make that crap up. Other than Loomer, they don't have sources. And $500,000, I mean, if you own a house, your net, there's a difference in your net worth than in your purchasing power, right? I mean, if you include someone's house net worth, especially when you live in Florida, or California, but I'm in Florida, your net worth can seem a lot, but are you really worth it? You know what I mean? Because if you have a house, like I live in my house I'm in right now. This is a very small house, and I bought this house, my wife and I, in 02, 03. We lived in the same house all this time. So the house is more than doubled in value since we've lived here. So if you assess my net worth based on the house, But do you think I'm doing live streams at 4:19 in the morning because I've got multi-million-dollar homes all over the place like Candace Owens? I don't think so. I think I'd stick. If I was doing 3 multi-million-dollar real estate transactions at the level she was, I think I might just do 1 or 2 live streams a day, not 4 or 5 like I do sometimes, right? So that but and there's also shielding the money, begging her audience for help, claiming to be broke when she's worth millions. But why do her and her husband have 2 multi-million-dollar homes in the same city? Right? Are they living together? What's that about? It's such a strange thing. Isn't it? It's such a strange thing. Whatever. It's getting exposed. But the things that Loomer wrote, I cannot even. I'm not even going to. I did retweet them, okay, but I'm not going to. I can't read them. But then she said some things about Milo. Laura Loomer posted, and remember, Laura Loomer is always right. Okay, she's always right. She doesn't just say shit. I mean, when she says something, she knows. Loomer, she posted this, and she tagged Candace Owens on this. Interesting how you're now taking the word of Milo Yiannopoulos, who my sources tell me is currently dealing with deportation proceedings because he is allegedly in the country illegally. Really? Is it true Milo is allegedly working for you, Candace? Wow. And then she talks about how one of Candace's former friends contacted her tip line and said that they saw Milo entering and leaving your house multiple times. I mean, she's really got some good stuff. If Milo is this is Loomer. If Milo is an illegal alien and he's working for you, you could face a lot of legal consequences, Candy. Oh my goodness. And then she says a lot of things here that I can't. I can't read. I'm not gonna. But if you go to my X, Brian Craig Show on X, you can see the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, I know, it's crazy. It's totally insane. I mean, it's if Laura Loomer wasn't right and she wasn't hitting on some sore spots, Candace Owens would not have blocked her. Well, I'm glad you like these glasses. They cost about $1 on Amazon. They're reading glasses. They're really nice for $1. You can't beat them. You know. And I saw this today. This is on X. Listen to this. Top Democrat political consultant and campaign strategist James Carville, who's nuts, right? Just stated on a liberal podcast that when the Democrats regain power, they're going to grant statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico so they can get 4 more seats in the Senate. And they'd also get some seats in the House, too. They're going to pack the Supreme Court with 9 justices, from 9 justices up to 13. And, of course, the new 4 will be all liberals. Reopen the U.S.-Mexican border and grant mass amnesty to every single alien currently inside the United States. And Carville says, don't run on it. Don't talk about it. Just do it. You know, and he's so right that that's what they plan on doing, these crazy things. And we've got Thune, who won't break the filibuster to pass the Save America Act. I tell you, we've just got a bunch of jerks, a bunch of fake Republicans, you know. Thune is disgusting, isn't he? He's really disgusting. There's no question. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. That's right. And on the next stream, which will be in just over an hour, I'll be in studio taking your calls on all of these things and more. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the Save America Act should have been passed weeks ago. Weeks ago. You know, see, that's you know, the thing is, you know, the rhinos are still around. A lot of them are just secret rhinos. I call them rats, Republicans against Trump, but you know, and they just don't recognize Trump as the president, right? I mean, they just don't, and they're going to continue. Now, I did pin in the live chat the link to the mainstream today, so make sure you click on that link, click the notification bell. It'll be just over an hour, and I'll be live, and I'll break down all this in more detail and take your calls. Yeah, Milo's a real disappointment. I tell you, he's a real disappointment, and he was the campaign manager for one of Loomer's campaigns, and he's just they've obviously had a falling out. But this is not going to end well for Candace. She's going to be exposed, and she's going to lose that lawsuit with Macron. That's why all these financial transactions are being discussed by Loomer. I think she expects to lose the Macron lawsuit. Yeah, I'd love to know how Loomer's getting all this information. Is it from Trump? Is it from Macron's legal team? Who knows? It could be just people that know Candace, right, and know what's going on. I'm sure she's a terror. So there's probably a lot of people around her who don't really like her. Some of them may even be still pretending to be friends with her. I imagine she's pretty crazy to be around these days, especially now. You know, she's unhinged on a good day. I mean, look at the breakdown Candace has had over Eric Kirk. You know, so now she's got this. You know, what are you going to do? Did any of you guys catch my video on my other channel down in South Beach in Miami yesterday? If you should, if you have not, check it out. All right, my Main Street Moments channel. I took a walk down, gave a tour of South Beach, Miami Beach. It was beautiful yesterday. It was in the low 80s. It was like a perfect day. I think the link, let me see. The link might be in the description. Let me see. of this video. All right. Yeah, my second channel's linked in here, so you'll see my second YouTube channel's, the link is in the description, so go and check that out. And I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my second channel, too. Yeah, that was a beautiful day yesterday on Miami Beach. I mean, I live in paradise, I tell you. I'm very lucky to live in Florida. Florida, is, I tell you guys all the time, Florida is the best state. It's kind of a funny thing because on this video yesterday in Miami Beach, Miami Beach, South Beach, it's a big tourist destination, but it's where the international tourists come. I was wearing this hat when I was making the video yesterday, and they're international tourists, right, from all over the world. They come to Miami Beach for vacation. A lot of places in Florida, it's Americans on vacation, but in Miami Beach, it's a lot of foreign tourists, and they've never seen anyone who's MAGA before in person. They've heard about us in the news. They've seen some things online, but they've never seen somebody actually wearing a Trump hat in person before. And I can tell they're like a little taken aback sometimes when they walk by me. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. A bit outside Orlando. Well, that's a little vague. And I live in South Florida, which is just beautiful. And you can see, if you look at my last couple of videos, you'll see it is beautiful. Florida is, without question, the best state. Yeah, DeSantis has, he did betray Trump. I'll never forget that, but he's been a pretty good governor. We got to give the devil his due. He's been a pretty good governor, I must say. I wish he wouldn't have betrayed Trump, but he did, He did. His wife whispered in his ear, and Jeb whispered in his ear. And Jeb's wife, Columba, getting Casey DeSantis all worked up, and then they betrayed Trump. They thought, DeSantis and his wife thought Trump was going to prison, and he was going to come in as the big hero. Well, it didn't work out that way, did it? Thankfully so. Yep. No doubt about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my second channel is linked in the description. He did have everyone over. I mean, he would be the attorney general, right? It's possible he becomes the attorney general. Trump may make him the attorney general. He's been, last week, he had a private meeting with Trump here in Florida at the golf course. He named the Palm Beach airport after Trump 2 weeks ago. Last week, he renamed a road after President Trump that goes from Palm Beach to the west coast of Florida. So there's one road, Highway 80. It's now called Donald J. Trump Highway. And it takes you from Palm Beach to the Gulf of America. So he's doing a lot of things, DeSantis, to suck up to Trump the last month. He just signed into law in Florida a couple weeks ago, Florida's version of the Save America Act. So he's doing a lot of sucking up to Trump. Yeah. Well, there has not been a president under 5'11" in the modern era. I know they like to say Ronald Reagan was 5'10". That's just because he got old and shrunk a little bit. But we've not had a president under 5'11" in the modern era. It's because of television. They get up there on the debate stage, and they look like a jockey next to the other one, like Dukakis. And they just, you got to be tall. With Kamala Harris is 5'4", right? 5'3". Is she 5'3" or 5'4"? I can't. She's either 5'3" or 5'4". And what they did in the ABC debate with Candace Owens, I couldn't believe that they did. This was crazy, and no one covered this. So she obviously wears heels to make her a little taller, but how much taller can that make her be? So what they did during the ABC News debate to hide how short she is, they built her podium smaller than Trump's, and they did some camera angles to do forced perspective so that she looked the same height as President Trump. Isn't that crazy? They built a whole set for the ABC debate with forced perspective to hide her height. True story. Look it up online. And then The woman who was moderating the debate from ABC News with David Muir is a sorority sister of Kamala Harris's. So, I'm serious as a heart attack about the forced perspective at the debate, the podium and everything. I'm serious as a heart attack. Laura Loomer is indeed an investigative reporter. There's no doubt about it. Me, I'm a commentator. I'm not a reporter. I'm a commentator. I give you my opinions covering the news, but my opinions. Yep. Boy, I tell you, I'm going to put the link to my Miami Beach video. Yeah, so I wore this Trump 2028 hat as I'm giving a tour of Miami Beach yesterday. Well, I'll put it in the live chat. And you're done watching me here, you guys can watch it. And subscribe to that channel, I'd appreciate it. There's a link in the description as well, but I'll put it in the live chat. Yeah, there you go. If you click that link I put in the live chat, it'll take you to my second channel, Miami Beach yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday morning. I started around 8:30 in the morning. I got to the beach. So I saw the weather was going to be perfect. I'm like, perfect time to go down there and do this. And I got the best parking space you could possibly get in Miami. Oh, my goodness. So check it out. Yep, if you click the link in the live chat, it'll take you to my second channel. There's also a link in the description, and you can check out that video. I'd appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel, guys, if you don't mind. Welcome, everyone. All right, well, guys, I'm going to go and finish my show prep, and then I'll see you in about an hour on the main show. So click that link I just pinned there. Check out my second channel, and if you could do me the favor of subscribing to this channel and that channel, that'd be a great birthday gift for today. All right, take care. I'll see you on the next stream.